Hi everybody, how you doing? Yeah, welcome to Big Bang TRL Extras. And we're going on to do something a little more, a little different. Things are changing up for Big Bang TRL. We are going to start producing more documentaries on the regular show Big Bang TRL. So these are the extras that you would sort of get as outside the documentaries. If you want more stuff, this is going to be shorter pieces of video. So as you all know, I'm a booktuber, in addition to many other things. And so as I strolled around Booktube, I came across Carrie's channel, Carrie for Life, and she had a perfect little book tag. She did it for a celebration of her, I think her, can't remember now how many subscribers she has. But it was basically, she attained a number of subscribers that she thought was good. And so she celebrated. A lot of YouTubers, when they reach these milestones of 100, 200, 500 subscribers, they all celebrate. I'm still stuck at 58 or 59. I haven't gotten to the 60 point yet, so I seem to be sort of stuck around that level there. And so those celebrations haven't happened yet, so what I'm going to do I don't really know, but she did the book tag called My Perfect Book, and I thought I'd take sort of a few moments to answer this, do this tag, and so here it is. Let's get to the questions. The first one is genre. What genre, or combination of genre is your favorite book? And one of the things I've got to point out for myself, basically, is that if you've been watching my videos, I'm not into reading. It's not about one book anymore, two books, so on and so forth. I've now got an entire library, and I spend my days in sections of the library. So it's more now a section of the library for me than anything else. And I spend most of my time in the non-fiction section of the library. So if you want to consider non-fiction as a genre, that's sort of really as specific as it gets. That's where I spend most of my time. As for the non-fiction, for the fiction, I do still sometimes read fiction, but not as much. I spend most of my time. If I'm going to do something on fiction, I've gotten to the point now where I'd rather write my own fiction rather than than read it. So let's get this here now. Characters. What is your main character? A girl or a boy? What is he or she like? Well, the books that I prefer and I like reading, in terms of the fiction. Let's go to the fiction books here, and these are the books that I will be writing and eventually developing into some from a movie or TV thing. Because the non-fiction, that's where the non-fiction is going. Non-fiction is going. I've gone from simply writing papers to writing to producing documentaries the way you would write a paper. So I'm going to take the same path and take my writing from simply words and then producing either a video or a movie out of it. So we'll see how that goes. This stuff is still very experimental. But my main characters that I usually choose, that I like, that I prefer of late are girls. What is he or she, or well, let's say she like? But I don't go for your typical main character. Your typical main character is one of these sort of underdog things that she starts off a plain or neglected girl in terms of her popularity, and then overcomes all the odds and becomes very popular afterwards. And this is sort of like in the Amanda Bynes had this movie out called Sydney White, where she was this, you know, quirky little geek girl who ends up joining a sorority, ends up getting kicked out, and basically because she didn't fit in properly with her sorority sisters in terms of being as proper primitive as they were, and so the Wicked Witch, or the evil stepmother, is played by the sorority, the head sorority girl, and she ends up living in a geek dorm. And the bizarre thing is, if you want, it becomes basically a girl's form of Revenge of the Nerds. And her form of revenge, in terms of Revenge of the Nerds, is on this, instead of being on a jock or a football hero, or a sports hero, her revenge is taken against this beauty queen sorority leader. And she ends up beating her out in a beauty contest and a whole bunch. In other words, with her perseverance, she prevails overall. But the thing is that that's not necessarily my preference of girls, because the ones I like, that I think that have the most interesting outfits is something that's more honest. To give an example, one of the characters, if you're watching TV shows, Zoe 101 was a TV show on Nickelodeon. Now, the main character was also that quintessential type of character that you have this supposedly ordinary girl who's all her friends center around her, and the whole show is centered around this one particular girl, and everything sort of feeds into this one main character. I typically prefer side characters, like the one character that I particularly gravitated towards was Quinn. And I like that quirky behavior, where not everything goes well. Things don't always, you know, in the end turn out great. There are losses, there are this, you know, there is a sense of reality to it, while being, in many cases, you know, in terms, I don't really like a lot of drama in my books and fiction, because I get a lot of the drama, the reality of drama, in documentaries, so there's no particular need to have that type of drama in my fiction. If I'm doing something for entertainment, I want it to be entertaining, and I like that sort of, what I guess you would call a cafe conversation type of book, where it's more of a laid-back, leisure type of book, where you have a voyeuristic view into a character's or a person's life. So is there a sidekick? Well, no, there's no sidekick, because these people don't really, the characters, the surrounding characters, don't fit into the sidekick role. They're kind of, they're important to the story, but they're not a sort of what we call a side focus, because even the main character isn't functionally the main character. You can sort of go off and look at other characters in the book as well. That's kind of the way I like things. Is your villain totally evil or in the gray? Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a villain type, you know, in terms of my favorite book. I prefer the villains along the lines of Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. So that gives you an idea of where I like my villains. I guess for me, I want something light and entertaining in my reading. I don't necessarily want something serious. Let's say drama or action driven, neither in terms of the plot. I said I prefer more of a light-hearted situation, maybe a comedy. And again, the comedy is within the situation itself. how important is character development to a plot? Well, for myself, because the character themselves is the plot for me. Seeing who the character is the plot. Is my main focus. It is essentially important that you have good character development, that you have a good sense of character, that you can actually see and sort of hang out with that character while you're sort of reading. In other words, if you're reading and you understand, and most readers don't understand that you go into the book, you have an experience while you're reading, and you're in the situation in the book. With my characters, I'd like to be at the coffee table or out to dinner with them, as in their conversation. So the characters, if you want to hang out with them, they better have proper, a good character development, so that you can sort of, hang out with them. But the character development doesn't have to be overt. It doesn't have to be in your face or obviously written. It can be sort of couched into the subtext of the book. In other words, you don't actually have to come out and say, here is the character development. This is what this person is like. It can be sort of you can do character development in how the character actually behaves in certain situations, and you don't have to have everything all up front. It can be in bits and pieces. So this is here. Moving along. How important? Okay, we did that. Would there be any paranormal aspects of the book thrown in? Nah, not necessarily. Romance, I'll leave the entire romance part out because I'm not interested in that. Happy ending, bittersweet ending, sad, cliffhanger. Doesn't really matter to me, again, because you're hanging out with the person, so there's no particular ending for me anyways. You're just sort of hanging out with the person, and then at some point in time you leave. Lastly, does your perfect book already exist? I said no. If no, what author would you want to create your perfect book? And my view is I'm going to work on it myself, so that's how I'm going to handle it. Anyways, I'll talk to you later, and see you in the next video. Alright, take it easy.
Welcome to the library, and I am the librarian.
I am the professor. And professor of what? Professor of physics.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Free speech rules here at Democratic Earth.